Welcome to a short training video on the new CE5 Fieldwork Observation Report form for 2021. We're publishing this today on the 25th of March before fieldwork is allowed back due to COVID restrictions lifting. So this video is just to really give you some brief training on the form, what it's asking for and what you need to do. So to sum up very simply, first though, there are a number of apps that you'll need to download for your phone. And get to grips with learning how they work. So there are geolocation apps or websites, and the main two there to be aware of are What3Words and or Google Earth. Then there are apps designed to help you identify potential man-made flying vehicles and planes. They are Flight Radar 24 or FreeDAR. Making sure that for whichever one you use, you select the option to also include tracking potential military aircraft. And then there are apps like Heavens Above or GoSat Watch, which is specifically for the iPhone, which allows you to work out whether the things that you're seeing in midair are potential satellites or other celestial objects. You'll also need a voice recorder and a weather app as well. So all of those things are, for the most part, they're free apps that you can download directly to your mobile phone, and they're all very easy to use. So get familiar with those before you go out. So coming down to the form itself, the form is composed of 2 pages. This is page 1, so there's a number of questions here, and then you click next on this and you go through to page 2. The only 2 compulsory questions on page 1 are the date of the CE5 session here, so there's a little drop down box as you can see, and also the name of the group leader. Those are the 2 compulsory fields, but everything else is left and it's optional. So the first thing is, before you actually start completing this form, make sure you click the bookmark or favorite for your particular browser so that you can come back to this page again for other CE5 field trips. Okay, so going through this form, as I mentioned, first couple of questions: date of CE5 session, group leader or CE5 leader for fieldwork purposes. Then you've got geolocation information, so using either the What3Words or Google Earth app. Note either the 3 words given for your location or the exact location coordinates, put that in there. If you've got a fieldwork team, certainly there's some general confusion over exactly what are the restrictions between now and May the 17th or June, but certainly at very least we'll be allowed fieldwork teams of 6. So if you do have another 5 more members on top of the group team leader, this is the section of the form to put it in. The reason why we want you to record this information is really very simply that different people may be at higher vibrational frequencies already. So they might be more naturally able to have an experience, and their presence in your team may possibly increase the possibility of you being able to have an experience for the whole team. So this is a theory. Now obviously by tracking this data we'll be able to actually lock this down, whether or not that is correct or not. So moving on, also list any other people. So if you've got any other family, friends, or family members that are coming with you that maybe, I don't know, looking after cars or are off-site, or they're fulfilling some role, list them here and list them what they're actually doing, because obviously again, if they are not taking part in the fieldwork protocol, the CE5 protocol, it's possible that their presence may or may not adversely affect the outcome. But obviously by tracking this information we'll be able to assess this properly. It's many CE5 teams use binaural or theta tones played to get the brain into the optimal state for trying to achieve an expanded conscious state. So answering the question of whether or not you're using that before the session is good. Also, as you're aware, if you've got the CE5 app, Dr. Greer's app, there's the option to actually play crop circle tones as part of the CE5 protocol. So whether or not you played that, and you did it through a walkie-talkie, which was how originally Dr. Greer used to do it. Then we want you to next question to track the meditation style that you're using. Are you going with a dedicated CE5 guided meditation? Are you using a homebrew, which is effectively self-created, guided, or a music style? Or even maybe you're using a gateway hemi-sync style, or are you using some sort of specific Hindu, Sikh, Buddhist, or Taoist expanded consciousness technique? Then, as mentioned, you use your weather app. Please record the approximate temperature and the weather conditions when you start the session. Obviously, weather conditions is something we want to try and understand whether adverse weather conditions have an effect on the ultimate outcome of the field work, and any other pertinent information that you want to make regarding your fieldwork trip on this time. So I'm going to take you through now to the next page. So let's just click the compulsory fields and then take you through to page 2. So here we go, click next. The weather conditions, just put in something there. So I'll adapt that so that that's not a compulsory question. But again, we do really want you to complete all this information. Start off with location in the sky. So we need you obviously to use a compass and record the approximate location in the sky and the direction of travel. So, for example, an object or an orb started in the northern area of the sky and moved towards the southwest, and use the compass app if you've got one to basically lock down exactly what the compass direction was for that. Second point is, if you can see the way this hand is located, to try and give us the approximate angle in the sky that you saw the object at. So obviously, if your little finger on this hand, as you can see in the image, is parallel to the ground, then that gives you the approximate angles that you'll be able to record. So potentially 60 degrees in a northerly direction, etc., etc. So then the other apps I mentioned earlier on, Heavens Above to check for satellites or celestial objects. As I mentioned, there is another one called GoSat Watch, which is very good for the iPhone, but that costs, and I think you can use Heavens Above on a free basis. And again, for being able to identify potential craft or planes, of the man-made variety, then check Flight Radar 24 or FreeDAR to check for those, and also make sure that if you're using either of those apps, you tick the box to select that you want to track military aircraft in the vicinity as well. So then the next question is actually detailing the specific experience that you've had and how you would describe it against these specific terms. So did you see a being? Did you have an interaction with a being? Was it human initiated contact? Was there any physical evidence of a craft? Was there visual sighting of a craft within 500 meters or so? Or was it just a standard aircraft and no interaction? So yeah, these are all things. Now, bear in mind that this is the first year we've done this, so this form will get refined based on feedback and the data that we capture. This is just, as I said, a start. We may well evolve this as we go, and to improve the data that we're capturing and the quality of the form. So there are two questions. One's a bit more earlier on. Time the observation ended. So whenever time the last orb or ship disappeared, that's the time that we want you to put in there specifically. And then we want you to record exactly what happened. So your personal encounter, personal account of the event in here. And we also want you to mention how you felt, what emotional state you were in, both before and after the event. That's a number of senior CE5 veterans have said that could very well be quite an important piece of information to record, so please also record that. Also, if possible, maybe on your way home, if someone else is driving, then if you can record a witness statement on your phone, that would be brilliant. And the final thing this is just as a reminder in this final question, which is please upload any photos or video to both your regional Facebook group and to the main CE5 UK Facebook group page after the session. And if you can, also include the serial number of the device that was used to take the photos or the video. So that basically is it. That's the form. So don't forget to bookmark it, and don't forget to download and get to grips with all those apps. But if you do help us to get this data together, we do believe that we will speed up the uptake of CE5 in the UK. So you will be doing everyone an enormous service by completing this form. Thank you very much.